this section, we will be discussing about the inheritance and virtual functions. It's very important one. It is a half of your third module. Okay. Let's see the first one. It is inheritance. Okay. This inheritance, as we already basically knew, a child inherits all the features from their parents. Okay, a child has a mother's eyes, father's nose, like that we will see. So here in this case, the inheritance in a program provides a way to create a new class from an existing class. Okay, and this new class will be a specialized version of the existing class. So in this example, normal example, we can see there are two different insects. Okay, cicada and honeybee. Okay, grasshopper and honeybee, and here we can see there is a generic one that is known as the insects. Okay, and if it is an insect, if a thing is an insect, it has some certain characteristics will be there. Okay, and if the insect is a grasshopper, it has got certain shapes and all. Okay, so it will have its own characteristics. Okay, its own unique characteristics, and one of the unique characteristics is that its ability to jump. Okay, and here the insects, the common characteristics will be there, plus its own unique characteristics will be there, like it can sting. Okay, so here in this case, in our case, these two will be the derived classes and this will be our base class. Okay, so here we can see this derived classes may have its own characteristics, unique characteristics, as well as there will be a common characteristics which is defined in the insects. Okay, so here are certain definitions of inheritance. We can see it and you can study it. Okay, so inheritance is a mechanism for providing the power of reusability and extendability. Inheritance is a process by which the one object can acquire the properties of another object. Okay, and it is a process by which a new class called derived class are created from an existing class called as base classes. Okay, and it allows the hierarchical classifications. So let's see in this example. Here the point is a base class and the line is made up of points. Okay, line has got its own characteristics and point has got the general characteristics of a point. Okay, this line is made up of points. So here we can see, if I am mentioning this point as a parent class, then the line is known as the child class, and if it is point is known as the base class, this is known as what? Derived class. Okay, and here is another example. Okay, this is the fruit class. Okay, and in this if it is a fruit, it has got certain characteristics. Okay, and then if it is a banana fruit, then it has got its own unique characteristics like the color, etc. Okay, and it has got the inherited characteristics from the fruit also. Okay, here mango has got its own characteristics as well as inherited one. Orange also has its own its own unique characteristics and inherited one. Okay, and here is another example. There is a polygon class. Okay, in that this is a super class or the base class we can see. Okay, polygons has got different unique characteristics. Okay, and using that characteristics we are creating a subclass which is triangle. Okay, triangle has got its own characteristics. Okay, like the sides of that polygon is 3, then it's known as the triangle. So unique characteristics of triangle is what is 3 sides. Okay, Here also the rectangle inherits the properties of polygon as well as its own unique characteristics. This is another level of inheritance. You can see here the polygon has got the superclass, and this triangle is inheriting what? Triangle is inheriting the polygon's characteristics as well as it has got its own unique characteristics. Okay, and right angle triangle is a subclass of this triangle, and which has got a special unique characteristics as one of its angle is 90 degree. Okay, so like this we can create the inheritance which can be put it in the space of in the place of classes as well as objects also. Okay, so what is a base class? What is a base class? Base class is a class. This is the definition of it. Okay, base class is a class which defines those qualities common to all objects to be derived from the base. Okay, this will be a generic definition of a class. Okay, and the base class represents the most general description. A class that is inherited is referred to as the base class. Okay, here we can see the point is the base class, the polygon is also base class, like that. Okay, and here is our derived class. In the derived class, definition is like this. The classes derived from the base classes are known as the derived class. A derived class includes all the features of the generic class as well as it adds the qualities which is unique to the derived class. And the class that does the inheriting is called the derived class. So derived class can be used as a base class for another derived class. Okay, so C++ inheritance is achieved by allowing one class to incorporate other class into its declaration. So how the C++ inheritance is? It is achieved by what? Allowing one class to incorporate another class into its declaration. So let's see the example here. Okay, here class which is a derived class. Okay, it is going to accept or it is going to inherit another class's properties. Okay, so here I have mentioned the base class. So it is inheriting. The syntax is like this: colon, access specifiers, space, the base class. Okay, so example is like this: class rectangle, colon, public shape. Okay, and here also class circle, colon, public shape. Okay, like this we can inherit, and here this rectangle is the derived class and this is the base class. Okay, so we have to specify some access specifier here. This access specifiers can be of public, private, protect. So this is an example of inheritance. As you can see here, there is a class shape here. Okay, this is the unique one. Okay, so here you can see the width and height of that shape. Okay, these are the generic ones. Okay, and here we have the set width function, set height function, get width, get height. Okay, so in shape, inside the class definition, we have the private variables as width and height, and we have the public variables as public functions as set width, set height, get width, and get height. Okay, and we have another class which is a derived class rectangle, which is inheriting from shape. Okay, which is inheriting from shape. What will happen here? If I am mentioning it as public, what will happen? All its public functions will be available as in the public section of this rectangle. Okay, and this class circle, it has got the it has inherited the shape itself. Okay, here it has got the circle is a shape, and it has got the unique variables or unique characteristics as radius, cx and cy. Okay, x and y, the center of this center point x comma y. Okay, and here we can see one this is constructor is the which accepts the radius and all. Okay, get area. So here it is mentioned get area of the rectangle. What is the rectangle get area? It is what? It is the width and width into height. Okay, in case of circle, the get area is what? Pi r square. So we are returning what? 3.14 into radius. Okay, so here we have created the class circle C1. Okay, circle object C1, and here we have the R1, which is a rectangle object. Okay, we can see here we have mentioned public. So all these public functions are available in circle as well as rectangle objects. Okay, so whenever we are saying C1 dot set width of 10, what will happen? It will use the set width is available here also, and it will use the set width of 10 here itself. Okay, so it can call the function set width of in w, and it will initialize what? The width of this rectangle. Okay, sorry, the circle, width of the circle. And C1 dot get width, what will happen here? So the width will be returned. Okay, the width will be returned, and it will be stored in the val, and we will get the width from the circle C1 val. Okay, so even if the get set width and get width is not defined here, it is inheriting what? It is inheriting the functions from this shape. And here we can see the rectangle 1 R1, R1 set width and set height. Okay, the set width and set height is done here inside this thing. Okay, and whenever it is using the width and height, it is using inherited width and height. Okay, so set width of 20, set height of 10, then what will be the output of this thing? It will be returning what? Width is equal to 20, height is equal to 10, so we will get the area as 200. Okay, I hope you understood this thing. So here the rectangle as well as circle is inheriting from shape. So here we have discussed all about the public base class inheritance. All the public members will become the public members of the derived class. All the protected members of the base class will become protected members of the derived class, and the private members will not be inherited at all. So here you can see class B and D is inheriting from B. So we can see here there are different this all things are in public only. Okay, and D will be inheriting it inside the public section only. Okay, here we can see in class D we have a private section here, private in C, and in public section we have the functions mul and display. Okay, and this inherited things or inherited B, get A, show A, all those functions will be available in the public section of this thing. Okay, so just like that we can use this, all the public thing will be available in the public section of the derived class. So private base class inheritance, the public and protected members will become the private members of the derived class. Okay, the private members cannot be accessed directly, only through the functions, only through the public interfaces it can be accessed. Okay, so here in this case we have the public values. If we are using this private access specifier, what will happen? It will be inherited in the private section. Okay, this portion is inherited in the private section only. If we are creating an object of this class T, it is not accessible outside. Okay, inside the small node display only we can utilize these things, because it is inside the private session of this class T. Okay, the next one is the protected members of base class. The member which is not accessible by other non-member elements of the program. Okay, actually this protected members cannot be accessed outside the derived class. Okay, the base classes protected members will become the protected members of the derived class and are therefore accessible by the derived class members only. Base classes protect members can become the protected members of the derived class and therefore accessible by the derived class only, derived class functions. So here we can see the protected specifier, access specifier we have used. Okay, and if you are inheriting it as protected B, what will happen? This whole thing, whatever we are inheriting, the public portion and the protected portion also will be put inside the protected portion of this class T. Okay, this one will be accessible only using the object of the same class. It is not accessible outside the outside, or which is a third level inherited object. Okay, so here is a matrix representation. If we are having base class visibility is private and base class visibility is private, protected, public. This is just a case like this. Okay, here we have only public one. Okay, so we can have public, private as well as protected one in the base class. So in the base class visibility we have private, protected and public. Okay, even if it is a public derivation, private derivation, protected derivation, this private section will not be inherited. Okay, and the next thing is protected. Okay, in the base class we have mentioned the access specifier as protected, and as it is inherited, it has given public derivation. Okay, public derivation I have given. Then public derivation, the protected will become protected. Okay, and if it is a private derivation, this protected will become private, and if it is a protected derivation, it will become what? Protected. Okay, so if it is a public derivation, it will be protected. If it is a private derivation, it will be private, and if it is a protected derivation, then it will be protected. The only thing you need to remember is, if it is a protected derivation, this protected as well as public will be in protected portion of the derived class. Okay, if it is a private derivation, then this protected as well as public will be inside the private visibility. And if it is a public derivation, there is only the difference. Okay, if it is a public derivation, the protected will become the protected and public will become what? Public. This is very important one that it can be asked for a university exam. So here we can see derived class visibility, members of the same class. Okay, if it is public, then it is accessible. Okay, members of the same class is accessible. Okay, protected also accessible, private also it is accessible. Okay, members of derived classes, this public is accessible, public inheritance is accessible. Okay, members of derived classes can access the public as well as protected, but private it cannot be accessed. Okay, all the non-members, okay, non-members, if it is a public access specifier, then it can access, okay. Protected as well as private cannot be accessed. If it is it is an object of the same class, it can access. The non-members can access the publicly derived one, but if it is protected, the non-members cannot be accessed, okay. But here in the single level inheritance, the second one or the derived class can access the protected members of the previous one. Okay. Now, inheriting the multiple base classes. How here until this time we have inherited only from a single base class. So here we want to access what some of the attributes from the base class 1 and some of the attributes from the base class 2. So how I will do it? So for that we will be doing like this. Okay, this is the syntax of it. Okay, class, the class name, derived class name, colon, access specifier which can be public, private and protected, and base 1 which is the first base class. Okay, here access comma, okay, you have to give a comma and then access specifier, then base 2. Like this we have to. So here we can see class orange is deriving, or class orange is derived from yellow as well as red. Okay, the only thing is that this one, after this thing you have to put a comma and you have to give the other thing. This access specifier can be anything that is public, private, protected. So here the orange is okay, this orange is inheriting from base class 1 yellow as well as red. So this is how we can write it as an example. Class yellow, class red, and this class orange is inheriting public yellow and public red. So all the elements which is protected will be in protected here, public will be public here. Okay, all the members are protected as well as public members will be accessible. All the protected and public members of this yellow and red will be accessible inside the orange.